In the quiet, chaotic unfolding of our lives, there are moments that feel strangely fated, times when events align with uncanny precision, or when unseen forces seem to pull us back from the edge of disaster. These experiences, often dismissed as coincidences or brushed aside in the rush of daily life, might be much more than random. According to the profound insights of Carl Jung, they may be signs that we are being protected and guided by a higher power. Jung, a pioneer in analytical psychology, spent much of his life exploring the mysterious forces that shape human experience. He believed that the psyche was far more than a product of biology and upbringing. It was a gateway to something deeper, a connection to the collective unconscious and, through it, to the divine. In this video, we'll explore 4 powerful signs, rooted in Jungian thought, that suggest you are not alone in your struggles, and that a higher power is indeed protecting and guiding you through the unfolding narrative of your life. 1. The timing of life feels off, yet perfectly aligned. At some point, we've all felt it, the sense that our life is out of sync. Relationships fall apart. Jobs vanish without warning. Carefully laid plans collapse. From the surface, it can feel as though the universe is conspiring against us. But what if it's conspiring for us? Carl Jung spoke of the trickster archetype, a chaotic energy that disrupts our plans and introduces unpredictability. While the trickster may appear to sabotage, it actually serves a sacred purpose: to dislodge us from paths that are not meant for us. Imagine missing a flight only to later learn that it was grounded due to a mechanical issue, or losing a job, devastated in the moment, only to find yourself weeks later in a role that aligns more authentically with your passions. These experiences feel like setbacks, but they may actually be signs of divine timing. This isn't about toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. Jung didn't suggest that pain isn't real or that life is always pleasant. Instead, he emphasized that life's detours are often part of a deeper unfolding, one that is shaping us into who we are meant to be. In retrospect, we often realize that what we feared was loss was actually redirection. That failed relationship, it created space for a more aligned partnership. That delayed dream, it matured in its waiting and came to fruition at the exact right time. When life's timing feels off, consider this. Perhaps it is not off at all, but perfectly orchestrated by something greater. 2. Unexplainable protection. During crisis. There are moments in life that defy logic. Crises where we should have broken but didn't. Accidents narrowly avoided. Insights that arrive just in time. Sudden help from strangers. A chance encounter that reroutes our path. Carl Jung describes such experiences as numinous, a word that signifies encounters with the divine, those moments when the veil thins and something beyond the physical steps in. In Jung's view, these are not merely fortunate accidents. They are manifestations of the unconscious connecting with something higher, providing a protective force when we need it most. These interventions often appear during our lowest points. Life spins out of control. The future seems bleak. And yet somehow, a mysterious current carries us through. Maybe you had a health scare that could have ended very differently. Or you were moments away from a decision that would have led to catastrophe. But something inside said stop. Jung would argue that these moments are not coincidences, but signs that a higher power is intervening, operating through the unconscious, synchronizing inner need with outer event. It's in these crises that we come face to face with grace, not because we earned it, but because the universe, the self, or God, however you define the divine, is invested in your journey, not just your survival, but your growth. 3. Mistakes become gateways to wisdom. What if our worst mistakes are not flaws in the system, but vital parts of our evolution. Jung taught that the journey toward wholeness, what he called individuation, involves confronting our shadow, the part of us we repress, deny, or fear. Often, our mistakes are the stage upon which the shadow dances, exposing itself not to shame us, but to teach us. Think of a broken pot. Its cracks ruin its function, but in those cracks, light gets in. Similarly, our failures create space for new insight, self-awareness, and wisdom. Perhaps a decision you made caused pain, or a path you took ended in regret. At the time, it felt like destruction. But with distance, you see how it shaped you, pushed you, humbled you, or awakened you. These mistakes often reroute our lives in ways that we couldn't plan. They humble our ego and bring us closer to our authentic self. Jung believed that these challenging experiences are essential for transformation, and they often serve as protection in disguise, keeping us from a path that would have numbed our growth. So instead of fearing mistakes, we should honor them as spiritual teachers. Each misstep may be a nudge from the divine saying, "Not this way, try again." And through this process, we don't just grow, we evolve, we integrate, we become whole. 4. Synchronicities. Light the path forward. Have you ever thought of someone just before they called? Or stumbled upon a book that answered a burning question? Or met someone who ended up playing a pivotal role in your life at just the right moment? These are examples of synchronicity, one of Jung's most profound contributions to psychology. He defined it as meaningful coincidence, the intersection of internal thought and external event, in a way that carries personal significance. To Jung, synchronicities were not random. They were evidence of a greater intelligence at work, linking the unconscious psyche with the outside world through meaningful events. The universe in these moments seems to whisper, "You are on the right path." When you're in alignment with your soul's journey, the world reflects it back to you in symbols, nudges, and unexpected affirmations. You meet people who mirror your inner questions. You find answers in songs, signs, or dreams. It's as if a trail of cosmic breadcrumbs is guiding you forward. These synchronistic moments are not just comforting. They are confirmation that you are not alone. They are divine markers, assuring you that, even in the midst of confusion, you are being watched over. Trusting the invisible thread. Jung's wisdom offers us a radical reframe of life's trials. What if the pain, confusion, and setbacks we face are not signs of abandonment, but signals of a higher power at work? This protection is not always obvious. It often hides behind disappointment, wraps itself in the cloth of failure, or speaks through silence. But when we zoom out, reflecting on the journey, we start to see a pattern, a logic beyond logic. We begin to trust that there is a river beneath the river, carrying us toward our soul's true home. Jung urged us not to ignore these signs, but to engage with them actively through reflection, dreams, creative expression, and spiritual rituals. When we notice these signs and synchronicities, we should pause, reflect, listen, because in that stillness, the voice of the divine often speaks. Final reflection, anchoring the guidance. Take a moment, place your hand over your heart, breathe in deeply, ask yourself, when was the last time you felt protected in a way you couldn't explain? What setback turned out to be a blessing in disguise? What synchronicities have appeared on your path lately? Light a candle tonight in honor of the journey. Allow the flame to represent the guidance, seen and unseen, that surrounds you. Let it remind you that you are never truly alone. The higher power, whether you call it God, the self, the universe, or something else, is always at work. Even when the forest seems dark, a gentle hand is guiding you. Even when you fall, there is something that catches you. You are being shaped, guided, and protected, not by accident, but by divine design. Conclusion. Carl Jung's teachings remind us that life is not a series of random events, but a sacred journey filled with purpose and meaning. The signs of protection are always present, even when obscured by fear or doubt. When we learn to trust in the unseen forces at work, we open ourselves to deeper wisdom, peace, and transformation. In the grand story of your life, you are not just surviving, you are being led. Trust the process, follow the signs, and know that you are exactly where you need to be.